Welcome to Web3 and Me, presented by FLOLiO. I'm your host, Jeremy Weber, and I am joined, as always, by Dan, the man, Vondelok. Dan, I know that you're dragging a little bit today. You had a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
bike ride through the wind, so let's start things off right. Let's have a good show today. How about that?
I like it. Yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, I had a long bike ride through the wind to get my passport. I'm like knocked out right now, so I had dinner, so I'm like a little bit of like a post-dinner sleepy dip. I'm getting old for sure. I got my coffee. I'm here with JWeb. I'm ready.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get right into it, man. So, what have you been up to since we last talked on Tuesday?
What have I been up to? I don't think much. Yeah, I don't think I bought anything. I Today's a monolith reveal, so I'm very excited for that. At least we
Okay,
assume. So
okay,
that's exciting.
okay. I've been going through the different stages of grief for not
Yeah.
minting or buying a Moonbird early
Moonbird.
on.
Yeah.
I think I've reached acceptance. I
Hmm.
went through like denial and depression. I think I'm at acceptance now
Yeah.
over the fact that I don't own a Moonbird, but that's okay. I'm still rooting for them to succeed, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's give a quick FLOLiO update because now that the site is live, new things are happening every week. We just added trait floors to the account valuations for all of the gutter cat gang. So cats, rats, pigeons, dogs, not the clones yet. There's still a ton of those more to come. So we're going to wait a little bit on those. We also added for Quirkies and, of course, Moonbirds because Moonbirds controls everything at this time. So we've added that, made some enhancements. We tested out the browser extension last week during the Moonbirds reveal, and it worked pretty well. And we were comparing it to some other sites also. So very happy with how that turned out. Shout out to the dev team for working overtime on a Saturday to help us with that. So, a lot of good stuff going on at FLOLiO. More will come. I've made the claim that we're going to have the best portfolio management site, and I still believe that. And it's just a matter of time. So, stay with us here. It's going to keep getting better and better, baby. So let's jump into the market recap for the week. A lot is happening and could potentially be happening. So there's like some things that are for sure happening, and then speculation around some other stuff. So let's start with what we know is happening, which is the big one today is the Dutch auction for the Akutars. So that is going to begin at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so in just about an
Hmm.
hour. It's a Dutch auction starting at 3.5 ETH. I believe we talked on Tuesday that we thought that maybe a starting price for that would have been around like what they were currently
Yeah.
selling for. So, we pretty much hit the nail on the head with that. Like they had been going in that 3 to 3.8 range. And so I think they kind of like took a snapshot of where the average price had been. And that's what I started with. So I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. You too, Dan. I'll virtually do
Hmm.
that over the Netherlands. So
I like
it's
it.
going to decrease in price every 6 minutes by zero point 0.1 Ethereum. Now, it is a true Dutch auction in that whatever the final person pays when it sells out is what everyone is going to pay. So they put out a big thread on Twitter. You should go check out the @AkuDreams account where they talk about how they're going to handle refunds and the reveal process. They were planning on doing an instant reveal. They had some issues with some of the 3D rendering. So that's going to have to wait a few hours, but hopefully still today. And so it's going to be a true Dutch auction. And also, if you own a previous Aku Dreams chapter or a Mint Pass, I believe, you'll also get half an ETH off the final price. So if you immediately buy for 3.5, it sells out at 2.5. You'll get refunded one ETH. And then if you hold another piece of Aku, you'll get an extra half an ETH on top of that. So I'm not really sure how I feel about these as far as like what's going to happen to the price with the total supply.
Hmm.
Dan, you and I each sold one too early. How are you feeling about the Dutch auction today? Are you taking part in it? Where do you expect it to land once all is said and done?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard for me to look at this like objectively, right? It's like I'm looking at their OpenSea and like floors near 5 ETH, and it's hard to really approach this with like a sensible opinion after like I could have had like 20 ETH worth of Akutar mint passes, but yeah, like the project is very great, right? Like it stands for a great thing, and the story that's being told is very powerful as well. And In general, it's something that we see is lacking in the industry right now. It's people of color being represented properly. I feel like the empowerment there is missing a little bit. Like it's mostly just like PFPs, but none of them, at least in my opinion, have been like very like in for the empowerment of like people of color, right? But when I look at these numbers. Like I told JWeb before the show started. Some of the Twitter posts had like around 80 likes. That's generally not really the stuff you expect from a project with with a floor price of like 5 ETH. Of course, it doesn't it doesn't matter it's like the likes that they have isn't the whole story, right?
Hmm.
But I look at the listed, and it's 127 listed right now out of around 9K. So that's a very nice like listing ratio. And it makes sense if you think about it, because the majority of holders are people who held their chapters, right, like through like the entire time.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Like I'm looking at the activity right now, and there have been quite a few random trait mint passes selling for over 4 ETH in the last, like a ton in the last
Yeah.
hour. Like, do these people not know that a Dutch auction is starting in an hour? Like, I'm looking back, and there have been a shit ton of sales for way more than what the starting Dutch auction price is going to be. So I'm not sure if people either don't know about it, or they're expecting the gas to be so high that this is actually, that it's going to sell out at 3.5, plus there's going to be crazy gas, so maybe this is a value. I don't see that being the case. I think that they don't know about the Dutch auction. To the point about, not a ton of likes on Twitter, I will say that seeing Micah talk about this project and how he has been trying to go outside of Twitter and
Mm-hmm.
bring more people into the NFT space outside of the ones who are already there, and to get them involved in Aku. And I've seen him retweet, interviews he's done like on TV and other places. So I
Yeah.
do think there's some, he's been in magazines. Like I think there's
Yeah.
something to the fact that like he's working hard to bring new people in, which is absolutely great for the ecosystem overall. So I'll probably be sitting out the Dutch auction. I don't see a ton of value in trying to jump into a gas war of something that's starting at 3.5 ETH that, based on current demand, could sell out pretty quickly. So I'm still holding the 2 OG and 1 Mega OG passes. So I feel comfortable there. And I'm just going to kind of watch this all play out from the sidelines. But I hope that, I hope it goes down to a point that people who couldn't afford it otherwise can still get in, because I think it's a great project. I want it to be an inclusive project.
Mm-hmm.
And 3.5 ETH can be rather, not inclusive for many, many people.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just like a little bit scared of Dutch auctions, right? Like at least that they have this thing where everyone pays the price at which it ends at. But that by itself could also cause people to FOMO, pay the highest price, and then everyone pays the highest price. And at the end of the day, everyone paid 3.5 ETH for an Aku Mint Pass, and people who expected like a quick flip or something are now suddenly undercutting the floor. It's something we saw at Pixelmon, which is like, it's not something you love referencing, right? Because
let's not, hold on a second.
no, like, yeah, of course, that's a
That's
huge difference.
that's pretty rude to even put any other project in the same sentence as
Course.
Pixelmon.
Oh
I think
no,
I
for
saw
sure.
someone tweet out today that it's been like 55 days since the Pixelmon
Yeah,
Twitter account put
yeah,
anything out
it's
there.
wild. And they raised like what,
Ooh,
70 million, 80 million.
down bad,
Yeah,
just
but
real bad.
yeah, like disregarding the fact that I just put like Pixelmon in the same sentence as Aku. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I'm afraid people max mint, right? Like mint at the highest amount, and then for the sole reason of flipping, right? And then they
Yeah,
realize, hey, floor isn't going up. I'm going to sell now to cut my losses, and then that has like a spiraling effect where the floor keeps going down and down and down.
yep.
But who knows? It's Aku, and I hope it does well.
Me too. A Dutchman fudding a Dutch auction. You really hate to see that.
There you
Let's
go.
go ahead and move on to the big story from 420, which was the launch of the private beta for Coinbase NFT, which is, from all early indications, a tremendous letdown. I mean,
Yeah.
it seemed like just to be wildly disappointing on quite a few levels. Dan, why don't you jump into that first?
I mean, long story short, it's just like an Instagram for NFTs. Honestly, it's much less a marketplace than it is like an Instagram. I think
Yeah.
it's a lot of features are missing. Like I know it's a beta, but it's just
But they were spending,
some
like, they announced this like back in October that this
yeah
marketplace was coming, and this was what they delivered. Like, what an absolute dumpster fire. Sorry,
yeah
go on.
yeah no. I mean yeah, you're right. It's just the fact that they spend this much time developing something, and I know that it can be quite time consuming in order to like develop a website, right? Like of course, like we've seen it with FLOLiO ourselves. It just takes a lot of time, but there's some like very like glaring oversights. For example, on the traits, which are called attributes, which is fine. They lack any sort of like rarity or like percentage, and you can't click them to filter on anything.
Yep.
And the social section um, is a little bit messy.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute debacle. Like, how long when they launch it for everyone? How many hours did the comment section stay up before they have to pull them down? Like,
I
it's
think
going to
about like two
be
minutes.
right. Like, people are going to be just talking shit to each other and just having these anon accounts where they just like rip on projects. Like, it's going to be really bad. I think they need, having a comments thing. I heard one person say like, oh, well, if they do it right, it'll allow you to interact with people and maybe like start like the negotiation process, which I think is good if you're trying to like trade or something like that. But I think they need to do some sort of vetting. Like, you have to be friends with people to be able to
Yeah,
comment on their NFTs. Like, otherwise it could just get to be really ugly and could be a big turnoff for a lot of people.
yeah. I would even go as far as to say allow the owner of the NFT to like approve a comment, right? Who cares if
Yeah.
you're only approving like nice NFT, like lit emoji or something? It's way better than having all these shit comments like people posting like OnlyFans links and like actually I saw a post on Twitter. Someone said I listed my mutant for floor and someone posted my girlfriend's OnlyFans or something. I saw that on Twitter or something, and I was like, damn, people are ruthless out there.
I mean, if you've ever made a post on Instagram that has a hashtag like NFT or like anything involving an NFT, the comments immediately turn into just like spam, and it is miserable. I can't imagine what it's going to be like on a website where it's just about NFTs. Like, it could get really
Yeah,
bad. So I think we saw some interesting things happen with LooksRare this week as well. So this is kind of the perfect transition into that. We saw on Wednesday that LooksRare's price of their token shot up when people started to see how bad Coinbase NFT was. I think a
yeah,
lot of people were afraid that this was going to be what kills LooksRare. But also they are doing something huge, which is providing token rewards for listing on the site. I don't know if you've taken advantage of this yet or not, Dan, but it's pretty nice to just kind of get tokens for listing some NFTs.
yeah. The thing, yeah, it's the top 25 projects. Do you know? Is this just based off 7 day volume or?
Uh, I think it's like 24-hour volume, and I think it's like the thing that's annoying about it is it's in like 10-minute windows. So like
Okay.
you get points. So if you I'm just gonna pull up Looksfor real
Yeah.
quick and show it for people who haven't seen this yet. But there's the reward section on here. It'll show you what projects are earning leaderboard points. So I'm gonna go do a quick little screen share.
It's like a little bit more like gamified, right? It seems like.
Yeah, correct. So if we look at the leaderboard, you'll see that shocking Moonbirds is the number one project. So it's going by global 24-hour volume. So global just means it'll show you the volume on LooksRare and OpenSea. Okay, so that's how that's working out right there. You'll also see over here underneath the project name that there's this number per listing. So that's how many points you earn per listing on the site. So if you are listing one Moonbird, every cycle you get 200 points. You have to, it's the way that they're doing it though, is they're not allowing just anyone to list at the highest price possible
Yeah.
and earn points that way. You have to list within 1.5x of the floor. So if you have a super rare NFT, you're probably not going to do this. But if you have a floor NFT, and the reason that they instituted this whole thing was because they wanted to drive more listings to the website. Like that's been an issue I've had with LooksRare is there have been times I've wanted to buy on there instead of OpenSea, but there's just so few listings.
Yeah.
So by incentivizing, this is a super smart way to do it because it's tough to break people of a habit, right? Like the people who are in the habit of using these other crappy portfolio management sites, and when we want them to come use our better portfolio management site. So incentivizing people to list on the site instead of listing on OpenSea and giving them money to do that, I think is a pretty smart move on their part to help the project overall.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I heard a lot of people about it, and I think it's really hard for LooksRare to shake off this like, oh, like we're the secondary market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess they're smaller than OpenSea, right? And like in terms of how the website looks and feels, it feels better. But it's definitely just the issue that they don't have enough listings on the website. So I hope this fixes it.
Yeah.
I had a look at their token value and I noticed they had like a huge like drop off actually, last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's been. I mean, everything's been falling the last 24 hours. Like
Oh,
crypto's
okay.
been down bad, stock market's down bad. Shocking, another Friday where everything's
The
red,
usual.
the usual. But I think LooksRare still has stuff to improve on. But I tweeted this out this morning. Like they have done more in the last 3.5 months than I've seen OpenSea improve on over the last year since I got into NFTs. I've been shopping on OpenSea for over a year now, and all that I've really seen them add is the ability to buy Solana NFTs as well as the buy with credit card button. That's
Yeah.
really it. And so Looksrare continues to add new features. They continue, they had this bulk listing feature, which I used to list a bunch of stuff to get rewards, which made it so much easier and faster than having to like go through. Like that to me is a really nice feature. Like I like that a lot. And you can choose, from different collections too. It doesn't all have to be the same one. So I think they're continuing to innovate, continue to make improvements. OpenSea still does a ton more volume because people are just used to using OpenSea. But a lot of charts are showing that the organic sales, not like just the
Yeah.
wash sales for rewards, are improving and going up quite a bit, and looks for starting to eat into OpenSea's market share. So I'm going to keep holding my Looks tokens. I'm going to keep letting them, compound and grow. And I have a bunch of stuff listed at 1.5x the floor to try to get more rewards. And if it sells, so be it. I'm not going to be brokenhearted. But I think that it's been an interesting week to see how some of the different marketplaces are handling things, and LooksRare to me, from an innovation standpoint, is head and shoulders above OpenSea.
Yeah.
And I
For
mean,
sure.
Coinbase needs to fire whoever like made this website.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like there's so many things missing on Coinbase that I'm just kind of shocked, honestly. But
Yeah,
yeah, but in regards to LooksRare, I think that the moment, because you mentioned they are starting to eat into like OpenSea's share a little bit. The moment that LooksRare is even getting remotely close to OpenSea's like share, like market share, I think they'll rise like exponentially. I think because the main
yeah,
issue that they have is just listings, right? But
yep,
if that like grows over time, and at one point let's say they're equal, then I think LooksRare will definitely like overtake for sure.
yeah. What I would love to see is Coinbase NFT just buy LooksRare and then pay me $20 a token for my tokens. Like I would be okay with that. They can
That
do
does
if
sound
they want to
nice.
do that, they can do that. I'm not going to be upset about it.
Yeah, Coinbase
So,
buys Bored Ape Yacht Club.
oof, let's not go there. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see that happen.
Alpha
Come
news,
on, man.
guys. Leak.
Oh God, yeah, we need
It's
another
like all those Twitter
another
posts.
alpha leak. What an absolute joke. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Let's continue on with Moonbirds. I mean, it has been what a week.
Yeah.
A week ago we were telling people about the Moonbirds raffle the next day and how we expected the price. Our price target was 8 to 12 ETH, and Dan, you and I
You're
on
right.
Saturday were like, "Oh man, our price target's looking
We
good."
got it, guys.
We're just so very wrong.
I mean, we
Uh,
had it, right?
we,
But we didn't
we had
expect
it
it to
for
like go up like fourfold or something.
we had it for the 3 hours it took for it to go from 8 to 12 ETH, and then we didn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
It 100,000 Ethereum in trading volume, not $100,000, 100,000
Yeah.
Ethereum in trading volume in less than a week.
Yeah.
It's been 6 full days. that is unheard of. It's not sustainable, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I've seen, I've seen a lot of euphoria, and I have a lot of reasons why I'm cheering for Moonbirds to do well. We'll get into those in a second. But I think the people who are out there calling for Moonbirds to pass Bored Ape Yacht Club in the next month, I don't know what universe they're living in, unless like I think it would take Yuga screwing up in a massive way for that to happen. Like
Yeah.
I think they're not going to get to 100 ETH in a month. Like I'm sorry, that's totally outrageous.
Yeah, it's just like the whole like David versus the Goliath like stuff, right? I think people just like cheering for the quote unquote underdog and
Can we
all these,
really
like,
can we
Moonbird-
really call Moonbirds
No.
and the team behind it David versus Goliath though?
Oh no, well that's why I said quote unquote underdog, right?
It's like a smaller Goliath versus a bigger Goliath.
Yeah, but with every project that's mooning, people are always like, guys, we're actually gonna do it, guys. We're going to overtake Bored Ape Yacht Club, and it's going to be great. And it like it. Do you think it's ever gonna happen? Do you think like a project's gonna pop up
Yes.
and then, yeah, like
Yeah, I don't think BAYC is going to stay on top forever. People who thought punks were going to stay on top forever, I mean,
very wrong.
yeah, and they had a huge head start. BAYC has a huge head start. I think it could totally happen. I don't see it happening as quick as people on Twitter are calling for it. Like that to me is where it gets a little outrageous. No market goes in a straight line forever, right? Like there will be a pullback at some point. We're seeing it a little bit today. They are launching, last I heard they were launching the nesting feature today. So
Oh wow.
one thing that I've found interesting is the amount of volume we've seen over the last like 4 days. The first couple of days I wasn't shocked like to see it go to 20 ETH. I was like, okay, that's pretty wild. We've seen Azuki make big runs. Cool. What I think that we're seeing is, call it VC money, call it institutional money. I think outside money from people who were not in the NFT space or who were waiting on the sidelines for something like this that was launched by a team of professionals they respected, like Kevin Rose, have jumped in and are starting to buy up some of these things. That's just a gut feeling based on the fact that like the people I know who are really sharp NFT traders have been like, I'm not buying in at 25, 30, 35 ETH because there's inevitably a pullback. So I think we're seeing big money come into the space. And the reason why I'm hoping that nesting goes well, even though I have 0 Moonbirds, is that if these new people who come in have a good first experience and begin to see the potential of NFTs, that could lead into what I think would be the biggest like bull market we've ever seen. I think it could blow shit out of the water. If we see these people who drop, 35, 40 ETH on a Moonbird as their first project, who have friends who probably have a lot of money too, and they come in and are like, oh, I found NFTs. This one was great. I've interacted with people on Discord, on Twitter maybe, and, I'm starting to see the potential in it and why it's not just a fad. I think it could bring a absolute avalanche of money into the NFT community.
Yeah, just imagine like Mechaverse, but then like it going up.
It doesn't suck.
Yeah. There we go again. Like it has to be it has to, like in our Web3 and Me show, there has to be at least one like Mechaverse jab in every
Mechaverse
episode.
or Hape. Yeah, it has to be one of the two. It has to be one
It's
of
a
the
classic,
two.
honestly. But yeah,
I mean,
like,
it never gets old to me.
true, yeah. It'll always be entertaining. But I wonder, man, Moonbirds doing it even better and their nesting phase going well. I think you're right. Like just wait until these people discover like Gem or something, right? Just wait until they get introduced to like a smaller project. They're like, what? I can buy like 10 of these for like 0.5 Ethereum? What is that?
So, what do you think? Just like just like spitballing at the moment. Like this isn't on the agenda, but what do you think would do well with that crowd? Like, to me, a project like CloneX pops out. Being backed by Nike. I could see people who get in, experience Moonbirds, they like it, being like, okay, what's another project that has a solid backing?
Yeah.
Oh, this artifact was bought by Nike. Let's jump into that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see CloneX be a winner out of this whole situation, and people aren't really talking about that.
Yeah, CloneX has been a little bit, I'd say under the radar maybe. They haven't. I don't think they've done too much other than like everything monolith right now.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's get into that then. What do you, as a monolith holder, what are your expectations for the next few days?
yes, I mean, first of all, we're gonna have to wait and see, like, because right now the last challenge is underway, so
Okay.
the big brain people are currently trying to solve that one. I'm sitting out because my brain is so tiny that I I can't even do these puzzles, so I'll leave it up to the CIA experts in the Discord server. Um, but yeah, it's I mean, it's gonna come down to what's inside the box, right? Like I think that going over this weekend, having the Moonbird stuff, I think it could be like a perfect storm where whatever's in the monolith is like so insanely hyped up that we can see some of that like trickle down money. Like we're seeing in general. To be fair, we've seen a lot of the top 10 projects on 7 day has been like all green as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, let's look at that real quick because we've seen a lot of movement towards these blue chip projects right here. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and pull up the trending projects on FLOLiO.com. So if we look here, let's go across. Let's 15 minutes. Oh, actually, it's Decentraland.
Decentraland, interesting.
Look at
The
that.
more you know. I'm
30
surprised by
minutes
that.
is Decentraland. 1 hour, it's Decentraland. 6 hours, we're back to Moonbirds. Here we go.
There we go.
So if we look across the board, and if you haven't messed with our trending collections, you can break it down. We can see how many unique owners. But if we look at the 7 day, Moonbirds killing it. Monolith floor price is over 8 now. Nice call on that one when it was down at like, what'd you get yours at, Dan? 4 point something.
4.4, yeah.
Look at you. God damn it, you're impressive. So up to 8, we've seen a good amount of volume in the last 7 days, over 5,000 Ethereum traded on this project. We've seen 660 sales in the last 7 days, and it's got over 9,000 unique owners. So Monolith has been putting in some work. And, we've seen the number of unique owners on Moonbirds condensed a little bit, down from close to 8,000 now to about 6,500. So that's been interesting
definitely
too.
like
So,
accumulating, right?
yeah, you have people who won the raffle who sold early at like 8 or 9
Right.
ETH.
Yeah. I know
you
two
know,
people who did that.
I feel for you there. I mean,
Yeah.
you
it's
took
crazy.
profit. How can you really? Okay, here's the thing. Let's talk for a second about perspective. Can you really be upset about making $15,000 in half an hour?
Yes.
That's like NBA player money right there.
But you know why?
Like,
I think that you will have less regrets not winning the raffle at all than winning the raffle and sending out 9 ETH.
I mean, yeah, like I'm sitting here like, okay,
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
chilling,
feel too,
right?
I don't feel too bad about it because like I didn't have enough liquidity
Yeah.
at the moment to buy one for 8 ETH. But what I did do was I saw the people who were selling off ApeCoin to get enough ETH for this, and so I just bought the dip on that. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I had like 4 Ethereum to buy the ApeCoin dip. So when it went to like 1050, I was like, okay, I'll just grab that. So yeah, regrets will kill you. That's it's not what we like to see, man. It's not what we like to see. Anything else you want to talk about as far as Monolith goes?
So yeah, they're doing the puzzle now, and the monolith is going to be similar to the Clonex mint vial, as to where you can choose to open it or not, right? So yeah, we're going to be seeing what's inside today. The last challenge from the final quest lasted about an hour or so, and we're currently underway for like the last for like 10 minutes or something. So yeah, I wonder. I'm excited.
Yeah, it could be an exciting weekend if Monolith reveals today. There's speculation around the beans. We discussed them on Tuesday, them actually being beans. Like, will those drop this weekend? Maybe. I kind of doubt it. Just with everything else that's going on, I don't think that they really want to drop this weekend. So here for the NFT alpha. The NFT alpha was build a time machine and go back and buy a Moonbird last week. That's the alpha right there. So if you can figure that out, please let me know, and I will pay major money for that. So, in all seriousness, Dan, do you have any alpha at the moment? What are your thoughts right now?
My alpha. Is there anything? I mean, Wolf game cheap.
Yeah,
Right? There you go. I mean,
Wolf Game Sheep. You said.
no, not cheap. It's quite low. It's
Yeah.
I think we are near prices of November last year, I think. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a play to earn like potential in the future, I'd say that's a fine pickup. 35 ETH
I,
for a Moonbird.
I, as someone who has spent a lot of ETH on projects, it has usually been during a pullback, not a huge run up like we're seeing right now. So, do I think that Moonbirds will, move past, 40, 50 in the future? Very, very high probability of that if they execute. Do I think there's going to be a pullback before that? Yes. So
Yeah,
I don't think it's a great buy at the moment. We were discussing, I don't know price ranges here, but a lot of just look where other people aren't right now. If you look back at the charts for the last like 30 to 90 days of projects that have done volume but have flown under the radar because of things like Bored Ape Yacht Club and Moonbirds taking away the attention, we always see cycles. We always see projects, get a bunch of hype. Like we saw it with Azuki a few weeks ago. There's been a pullback there. They hit 35 ETH and then they pulled back to 25. So I don't think we're going to see Moonbirds pull back to like the teens, but I would say mid 20s is probably likely, which is even crazy. That's insane to say right there, but I think that's the case.
yeah. I mean, like the pullback is going to be inevitable, right? Like the last pullback we've seen was like after mint, like from 12 to 8 or something,
Yeah.
or from like maybe a little bit higher than 12, but like yeah, back to 8. And it honestly, after the mint, it was just a straight line up ish. Like I think there was like a really minor pullback somewhere in the middle, but it's just been going up and up, and
Yeah.
like it's gonna come down eventually. And the question is just like when, right? It's really hard to time the top. It's really hard to time the bottom. If you believe in the project and you got 35 ETH to spend, it's most likely like a decent pickup, but just not like the best, right?
Yeah. My alpha right now would be, yeah, so we talked about this a little bit before. I totally believe that there is new money coming in. I
Yeah.
think that whether you want to call it like VC or institutional, new money has come in. And I think that if things go well with Moonbirds, we could see even more of that. So trying to figure out what that other institutional money may be interested in is a good place to try to park right now. So yeah, keep an eye on those projects there.
Yeah.
Also, I would say we're probably getting other side land any day now.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any ape coin, I would still accumulate some ape coin. I still believe the land sale is going to be in that. It's I think there's a decent chance of the Dutch auction. I still have based on everything they have said about what. Okay, all right, Dan. What makes you unsure that it won't be an ape? Let's go.
Well, the only reason why I think it might be an ETH is just because this is supposed to be like a fundraiser, right? They need funds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, are you going to raise funds in your own coin? Like, to me, that seems more like, we're going to have this sale, and then we bring on ETH or something, or maybe even USD.
Yeah.
Like being able to mint with credit card or something. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to have this done in Ape, but maybe it does. I don't know. I can only think as far as like in the slight future. I'm not an expert on all this, but
We've talked about the trailer for Other Side where it said powered by ApeCoin. If you go to the
Yeah.
Yuga Labs website, they talk about the Other Side and how everything that Yugaverse is building is going to be powered by ApeCoin.
mhm.
From the standpoint of like them raising funds, they could also, there's this play to earn game that is coming. They've partnered with Enway Games where they're going to need to get the ApeCoin from somewhere there. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was their way of, having a vault of ApeCoin to use for the play to earn game. There's a possibility that some of the ApeCoin they raise from here would go to the VCs who initially, are backing them. That's one speculation I've heard. So I think there's quite a few reasons to think that it will be an ApeCoin.
Yeah.
The question is like, how much is it going to be? some of these like alpha leaks that are absolute
Yeah,
garbage that
300%, I think.
I'm not even gonna show them because like I've seen other YouTube shows talking about and like pulling up these tweets that are garbage and
Yeah.
giving them more attention. But I saw one that said like 600 would be like the starting price for a Dutch auction, which that's like 3 Ethereum right now. I don't think that's going to be the case for the amount of land. They said
It's
in the
close, right?
original in the original pitch deck, which may or may not be true, they said like 1 Ethereum per parcel of land. So based on current prices, that's like 200 Ape. So could it be like a Dutch auction that starts at like 300 maybe? I don't know. But to think that it's going to be like 3 ETH a pop, I think that would be a mistake on their part, and I would like people who don't own any part of Yugaverse right now or of Yuga Labs to be able to invest in it. I want people who don't own an ape or a mutant to have a reasonable price to where they can get in, because I just think that's a good thing for everybody. So, will it happen this weekend? That's what everyone's like. The market is expecting it to happen this weekend. This is the 1 year anniversary of Bored Ape Yacht Club minting. So there's plenty of people are saying like, oh, it's going to be a stealth drop overnight, and we're going to wake up and there's going to be Yugaverse land, and there's going to be an announcement around like the Dutch auction or the sale when that's going to happen. I have no clue. I have my ape ready if I want to buy more. I have a little bit of ETH if it's going to be an ETH, in which case I will cry because then the value of my ape will go down. But
Yeah, God.
it could be, yeah. If that happens, it could fall in a big way.
Yeah,
Like,
that's my like. I want to buy ape, man, but it's just I'm afraid that it is an ETH, and then it's gonna dump so hard. Like I can
well,
see it dump
Daniel,
to 8 or
scared
something.
money never made money. Okay,
That's also true. That's also true. Maybe I'll do like a 50-50 split or something.
there you go. There you go. That wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. So, what else do we want to talk about today? We've covered other side land. We've covered monolith. Talked at nauseum about moonbirds. Come on, Daniel, all in, baby.
All
Sir,
in.
I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you being here and your support and trying to help me peer pressure Daniel into buying ApeCoin. So there's that. What else you want to talk about?
Yeah. One thing I want to touch on was that Infura RPC was down earlier today, and what that is that like I'm not familiar with all these like technical like jargon, but basically your MetaMask transaction has to like connect to some network, and the Infura network or RPC is
Mm-hmm.
the common one, the most common. I think it's just like the standard one MetaMask uses. And it was
Okay.
down for like a good 2.5 hours or something. It's good now, but basically that made it so no one could transact through MetaMask. So that's rough, but it's back up. So we're chilling. We're chilling. We're chilling.
We chilling. Okay. NFT worlds having a nice little run up as well. Back over
Finally,
10.
yeah, they
Yeah.
were like going down over the course of like maybe like a week and a half, and not sure what happened to get them like back up to above 10, but I'm glad they did. For some reason, just NFT worlds being around 10 just makes sense in my head. I don't know. Like it's always been at like around 10. Like I'm just happy it's back.
All right.
Gives me a
Yeah.
sense of
Don't
comfort.
give you a sense of Any idea why it had a little bit of a resurgence this week? I saw something from their Discord about the operability of the worlds like continuing to improve. So do you think that
Maybe
helped lead
that.
the
Yeah.
charge there? Could it be
Maybe
some liquidity trickling down from moonbirds? Everything comes back to moonbirds, man.
it's always moonbirds. It's always
The,
these damn birds, man.
that's the true trickle down economics that we were taught about in school over here in the good old US of A was moonbirds. So there's that. I think that wraps it up. What are your game plans for the weekend? F1 race this weekend?
Sunday. Yep. I'm looking forward. Um, it's going to be whatever's inside the monolith. Honestly, playing around with it, seeing what's up. Because they said it's not an NFT drop, it's an invention drop or something. So
Is it? Yeah,
whatever the hell that means.
it's innovation is what they're calling it.
Innovate,
So
yeah.
I don't know what that's gonna look like, man. Like, are people gonna be severely disappointed if it's not like an NFT that they can turn around and flip real quick? Like,
Um, I think I think well they've been hyping it up like so much. It's kind of insane if you look back at their Twitter messages, but
Hmm.
they've been talking about what's inside this monolith for the last 2 months. So
Yeah.
if this is not up to what people are expecting, like in line with everything that they're dropping, like oh, like something about time, something about creating stuff, then I think people are going to be like very disappointed. And but like if it's really bad, it has like a lasting impact on Nike and Artifact as a whole. So I'm like, it better like match the hype because this isn't like a under promise and over deliver. This is like a well, they're not promising anything, but they're just like hyping it up like a lot. So
Well, and it's been such a long, drawn out. Like it's been over 2 months now. Like if this doesn't melt
yeah,
faces, it could get really ugly. So I think you should sell yours for 8 ETH and put half of that into ApeCoin. But that's just one
no,
man's opinion on the
I'm on
matter.
hold for sure. No
All
more
right.
selling anything. So like
No more.
after Aku, I'm done. I'm done selling.
Yep. Dutch auction. 20 minutes till that starts. Be interested to see where it lands at. I've seen some of the mega OG ones going for like 30 ETH now, which is pretty
But
wild.
they've been around that kind of similar. Like, they haven't really moved up in price too much if you
Yeah, they have.
compare it to the floor. Oh, they have?
Yeah, like the early sales were like 15 to 18, and then it kind of paused for a little bit, and then like there's been like it's gone in batches with the mega OG
Yeah.
ones, like 4 or 5 in a day, and then like it takes a day or two off from any sales happening, and then another batch of them. So
Oh, fair.
there will be no more of those coming out. It's just the random trades here in the Dutch auction starting in a few minutes. So we'll see how that goes. Oh,
Oh, I think we
clicked
both
at the
clicked
same time.
There you go.
Yeah, so I own some Bored Ape pieces. I own 50% of a collection that has 2 apes and 5 mutants and a couple dogs. So been in Bored Apes since last May, which will go down in my life as the greatest purchase I've ever made was getting into Bored
Makes
Apes.
sense. Yeah, like
Absolutely crazy.
the amount of value you've gotten because you bought it for 20 or 40.
Oh no, my first one I bought for 0.47.
Oh, yeah, I do enjoy paying point for 7 for a Bored Ape. That does sound quite nice.
Hey, at the time, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. Like it was like $1,500. I'm like, what am I doing here? My wife's like, you're a moron, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's
But
probably even more than that because like was ETH around 4,000 back then?
it might have been. So maybe like 1,800, and then
Yeah,
we have.
visionary.
I really like this guy. We'll do a giveaway just for you one of these days because I appreciate you coming in here and pumping me up like this. So yeah, those are my big. I own one Azuki and the Bored Ape pieces. So those are my blue chips, if you will, right now.
Yeah, for me it's just I'm holding a monolith, which is like arguably a blue chip just because it's connected to Artifact. Other than that, like I wouldn't really call anything else that I own like quote unquote blue chip. A fun long term hold I'd say is Llamaverse. That's one I'm holding as well. Their phase
Do you
two
feel like that's
roadmap.
that your most likely one that you hold that you would consider has the possibility to become, a high value
Mm,
project?
I'd say Wolf Game probably. Like if we're talking about
Okay.
terms of
Okay.
like probability.
Yeah.
Their game is dropping between now and 2 months, and then Llamaverse dropping their phase two roadmap in the next 2 days. So just yeah, that's my like if I had to bet on anything, it's those two, Llamaverse and Wolfgang. Swombat, yeah, Swombat had a great like Twitter thread I think the other day. Yeah, so yeah, I think he's also in Llamaverse.
Well, maybe we'll have to talk to Swombat and try to get him on or do a joint show, and he can explain a little bit more of Llamaverse. So
Yeah, I bought my monolith for 4.4 ETH like a month ago, I think.
this is kind of turning into like a reverse interview episode, and I'm kind of digging it. So
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too. Like we're just kind of chilling at the moment. Like we've covered everything we need to. Now it's just a matter of getting ready for this weekend. I have my wife's birthday like stuff going on this
Oh
weekend, so
yeah.
I'm really hoping that like nothing big happens with other side land, because if I have to,
Oh no.
just leave Saturday night alone, Yuga, for the love of God, like do not do anything on Saturday night, or I am gonna
Oh
be
god.
sleeping on Daniel's couch in the Netherlands. She's gonna chase me out of the country.
Yeah.
Uh,
Imagine.
imagine. I
No,
show up
yeah.
at your door. Hey, buddy.
No, I can just imagine like you're like on a date with your wife and you're like, hold on, babe, the other side just dropped. I have to go. Like hop in the
It's a
car, go
it's
to the
a
laptop.
group dinner. It's a group dinner, so I can kind of
Oh yeah,
hide, I guess, a little bit. But yeah,
yeah.
let's. If Other Side Land's going to drop tomorrow, if it could be between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that would be my preferred window.
Life
Um,
finds a way.
I know the Yuga team is probably watching this right now as we
For
speak.
sure.
So
Out of all
if you
the
guys
two
could
people that
just
are watching, I think you got Labs is at least one of them. I think.
All right. I think we're going to end it on that note. Shout out to our buddy here, Dick Enzas, for joining us and asking questions today and shooting the shit. We appreciate that. We'll be back on Tuesday. Once again, head over to FLOLiO.com. Oh, we have a giveaway. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull up our giveaway. We are doing a giveaway. We're doing a gutter juice, one of the pigeon gutter juices. So let me pull up the giveaway and what you have to do for it. So, the timing of this just worked perfectly, Dan, because gutter juice pigeons are going to be, or the gutter clone pigeons are going to be minting next week, and our giveaway ends next Tuesday. So here we go. If you have not signed up for FLOLiO yet, head over to our Twitter page. It's FLOLiO_. Dickensis, I'm going to try to rig this in your favor to win this giveaway, just because you're the man. But giving away a pigeon vial. Head over, comment with your wallet address so we can verify that you signed up for an account. Head over to this link here. I know clicking links can be a bit suspect, but we're obviously docs. We're not trying to steal anything from you. It'll take you to the FLOLiO website to link your account. You can just copy and paste that same wallet address. You don't actually have to connect your account to our site if you're concerned about security. We'll go through everyone who commented their wallet address and who linked the account on the website, and we'll draw one of those names on Tuesday during Tuesday's show to give away the gutter juice vial, and you'll be able to either sell that pre-reveal or actually reveal it when the minting happens on Thursday. So keep that in mind. Head over to Twitter. Thank you for coming and watching the show today. Please like, subscribe. Check out FLOLiO.com, view all your portfolio holdings, check out our browser extension. We got so much good free shit. It is mind-blowing. For Daniel, for the rest of the FLOLiO team, I am Jeremy. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Bye bye.
Say it. There it is.